Where are we?
We are in Canada.
Where are we going?
We're going to Bicolline.
Are you excited?
Je suis pressée. Je suis pressée.
1 week later.
I just spent 1 week at Bicolline for the first time. As you can tell, I've lost my voice. I'm in my hotel right now, about to go to the airport to go home. But I had the best time. I'm covered in bruises. My voice is gone. I'm exhausted. And I want to do it every year. I can't wait to show you what we got up to. Oh, are you helping? You are? She's stealing my chair, is what she's actually doing. Huh. Well, hello there. It has been a minute. As you may remember, I did a packing video for a place called Bicolline, which is what I have been so busy doing for the past little while. For those of you who don't know, Bicolline is a live-action role-playing event in the forests in Quebec, Canada, and I went and I had the time of my life, and I'm going to tell you all about my experience and what we got up to there. So, Bicolline was my first ever LARP. For those of you who have been following me for a while now, you'll know I love like all things medieval, fantasy, dressing up, going to Ren fairs, taking my fantasy photos and videos and all that stuff. And growing up as a history nerd who took theater classes, I think LARPing was just a natural progression of my interests. I could not imagine a better place to have a first-time LARP experience than Bicolline. The Grand Battle, also known in French as Le Grande Bataille. Attending this event has been at the top of my list since 2019, which is when I saw the first video of this event, and I've just been wanting to go ever since. It's very silly because I used to be the type of person who was like, ugh, who plays D&D? That's crazy. And then I played D&D and I was like, oh, it's me. I'm the person. Then I'm like, ugh, LARPing? Who does that? That's weird. Turns out, I'm weird. And I had a blast. All right, let's get into to the whole experience. But also, if you stay tuned till the very end of this video, I have a very silly surprise for you. As someone who has attended Renaissance fairs before, like even pretty big Renaissance fairs, I was absolutely blown away by the scale of this event.
It's exclusive. Invite only.
You're actually stepping into a fully immersive world spread across 350 acres of land. And not to mention you're there with 5,500 other people. So you're basically in a fully functioning medieval society. There are permanent structures built there that look like they've been pulled straight out of history, and there are 2 medieval villages here, built by the players, and there are roads, bridges, taverns, a stage, guild houses, battlegrounds, and so much more. Once you enter Bicolline, people must always be dressed in what's called decorum costumes. Basically meaning that you have to dress to the time period. All modern technology is out of sight, and once you're in there, there are so many tasks, quests, skirmishes, or battles to take part in, and there's absolutely no way to ever get bored there because there's also no way to do everything there. There's too many things going on all at the same time. It's not just an event, it's an entire world that you get to live in for a week, and there is actual in-game history to it all. Bicolline was founded in 1994, and in 1996 the first ever Grand Battle took place, which means that the in-game lore of this event has been growing for almost 30 years at the time of this video. The world of Bicolline is called Mundus, and it has its own geography, economy, conflicts, and complex geopolitics that have been evolving since the 90s in response to the actions of the players who go and the outcomes of the in-game battles and events. There's even a virtual game Bicolline attendees can access with their user accounts to view maps and events online that take place. And Bicolline also has its own in-game currency, which is called Solar. These are actual metal minted coins, and these can be gained through many means. This in-game money can be used to purchase real items, mostly from other players at the event, but you can get stuff such as clothes, mugs, trinkets, accessories, and even alcohol. We came across a guild who was selling homemade wine that was barreled at this event for Solar, which was so cool. You can also use this money to hire bodyguards in-game or people to perform specific tasks for you. I'll come back to this topic later and tell you about how I earned some Solar for myself. Basically, when you enter this place, you become your character. You don't need an in-depth backstory unless that's something that you want. I would say most people basically come as someone who is pretty adjacent to themselves, and they're just being an extension of themselves with a different name and maybe some different motivations or little quirks here and there. But I came as a character named Zoria, which I based on Slavic mythology. But to my surprise, so many of you already knew me as Kiki, and I had so much fun saying hello and talking to a bunch of you. So if you came up to say hello to me, thank you. It made my day. Maybe at my next LARP, I will get better at going by my character name, but you all made me very happy. I mentioned that this specific week I participated in is called the Grande Bataille, and there are other smaller events that take place on the grounds throughout the year, but the GB is definitely the event that you don't want to miss if you feel like coming to Bicolline. There are so many different guilds at Bicolline, each with their own colors, crests, and leaders, and during the GB, these guilds fight together or against each other, depending on what side the guild has pledged allegiance to. I was in the guild Ordo Servi, also known as the Silver Stags, and our colors are green and tan. Seeing the guild out on the battlefield in the matching tabards that the Voyage North gave us felt straight up like I was witnessing the behind the scenes of a movie. It's even cooler than the behind the scenes of a movie though, because you're literally a character there influencing the events of the game. So it was a lot of fun. It was also really amazing to watch the coordination of the guild's army leaders during the battles, calling out commands and making sure each little split up group of our army knew our specific objectives. The Voyage North also provided us with a combat training day, which was so helpful as someone who has never attended a LARP before. I was really overwhelmed and not sure if I'd participate in the battles at first, but the training morning was a game changer for me, feeling up to the task. All the weapons are also foam, and they have to go through what's called a homologation process and be tagged to ensure that everyone is playing with LARP-safe weapons and no one's actually going to get seriously injured with any of these. I ended up joining in one of the forest battles, and I was able to sneak behind enemy lines, and with my teeny little sword that I was able to pack in my bag, I got behind their shield wall and I got out 5 of the shield bearers on the front lines before I got tapped out with a pike. But it was so much fun. It was so exciting to get swept up in the objective of the battle, whether you're a skirmisher, protecting an item or a specific area, or if you're like on the front lines on the shield wall. There was a lot of adrenaline and also lots of bruises, which I bruise like a banana anyway, so I knew I was gonna come home looking beaten down, but it was worse than I was expecting. Turns out something I did not think I needed for Bicolline that I really needed was knee pads. I'm covered in bruises, mostly on my knees, but pretty much everywhere else too. There's truly too many to count. Dueling on gravel fighting battles in the middle of forests where there are many fallen trees and holes and slippery patches of mud, I would recommend more padding than I brought. Though I would not trade in any of my battle scars. To me, they're just proof that I had a great time. Going into this event, based on all of the videos I'd seen and things I've heard from friends who have gone, my expectations were really high, and I have to say, surprisingly, they were surpassed, and that really shocked me. I had the time of my life. Seriously, it was maybe my favorite vacation I've ever taken, which is crazy because you saw my bruises that I came home with. If you've seen my packing video, you'll know that I prepared pretty extensively for this. I planned out my costumes, my gear. I made sure I was ready for anything that Bicolline could throw at me. And I mentioned in that video, since I had never been, I had no way of knowing if what I packed was actually good. And I can now verify that it was pretty great. The only thing I wished I had was knee pads, of course. And while there were a couple items I didn't really use, like the chafing stick or the muscle cream, I was glad to know that I had them just in case. And while I also didn't use my first aid kit myself, I did give out a handful of Band-Aids to friends with blisters. So I would say that that is definitely a necessary item to pack. One of the biggest highlights of this week for me was doing quests. There are bulletin boards around the site with lots of different quests. We went to this man pictured here. I don't know his name, but he set us out on a quest to find glowing symbols, which can only be found at night. My little adventuring party, which consisted of me, my friend Agamedes, and Castile, we completed this quest together. It took us about 5 hours, wandering around relatively aimlessly in the dark. We knew general areas, but when you're on 350 acres of land, that's only so helpful. But we actually completed this quest, and though it took forever, finishing this quest felt so satisfying after 5 hours of walking around in the middle of the night looking for symbols glowing on things. When we returned our symbols to the guy who gave us the quest, we were rewarded with a magic resource card. These resource cards are super important in the game, and they can be traded in for solar. So we decided to sell it to our guild and split the funds between the three of us. I didn't have a chance to buy anything with my solar, so I have to come back. I have to come back and spend my money that I made, right? I mean, it's only logical. Other highlights for me included swimming in the river, we danced at nightly concerts, going to a completely jam-packed pirate party with a couple hundred people and a lady playing the saxophone. Everyone fighting their way up to the front for a little bit of alcohol from the open bar. It was a great time. And we even joined in on gnome night, running around the streets in gnome hats, recruiting other people to our ranks. I did not have my camera with me. I didn't realize that I needed it, so I didn't get to film the gnome night. But here's a clip from my friend. It was such a blast. Many voices were lost on Gnome Night, which is crazy because that was night 3 of 7. So I met a couple people who couldn't really speak for the rest of the event, so make sure you preserve yourself. The community at Bicolline was nothing short of amazing. I made so many new friends, and I felt welcomed by everyone that I met. in! Tap in!
Yes! Let's see, I get the bottles.
Laird! Aga's dad! He's in agony!
That's all I wanted. I wanted a bottle so bad.
Well, you did it.
Oh,
I'm proud of you.
do I look cool?
You look so cool. I'll show you the video. It really felt like a second home. And not having access to technology was also a blessing. Granted, of course, I did film some things to show you. But the majority of my time I spent without my phone or my camera, and it was great. If I wanted to find my friends, there were a couple ways to go about it. You either pre-plan, let's meet at the tavern at the end of the road, which, what a crazy sentence. I had the greatest time just sitting in a tavern with my little mug, waiting for my friends to go on a quest. You could also walk around the villages until you found them, or ask other guild members if they have seen the person in question. And it was the most present I have felt in a long time because there are just so many activities to focus on. You really don't have time for the overstimulating technology and thoughts that we've all become pretty accustomed to in life. Speaking of that, let's talk about camping. Of course, camping in general comes with its own set of challenges, and Bicolline certainly is not exempt from these challenges.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's full of water.
Don't let her fool you. This is the way. Yeah, that's a cool ass bottle.
Yeah.
What is that?
Where did you get this?
I took it from a guild.
There will be bug bites. Likely lots of heavy rain, some flooding, some mud probably, and then the whole sleeping in a medieval tent thing, of course.
Oh, we've got cots here. This is exciting. No
Why,
rain.
hello!
Hello, welcome to my crib.
We love our crib. We've got our little cots. But honestly, all that just added to the experience for me. It felt like I was on a true medieval adventure, and any sort of mild discomfort I felt, to me, only added to the immersion, and I was truly pretty unbothered by it all because the fun far outweighed any of the camping inconveniences, in my opinion, which was a great surprise. But definitely worth noting the things that could be discomforting going into the event, of course. I also have to say, I went with the Voyage North, and going with them made my first Bicolline experience so much smoother. They took care of a lot of the things that kind of tend to stress me out anyway about travel. Transportation buses to and from the airport, pre-set up medieval canvas tents, cots, 2 prepaid meals a day, and even in-game guidance such as the battle training or tips from the guild leaders on how to get involved in the gameplay. The team was super helpful, hardworking, and they made sure we all had an amazing time. They threw parties, they laid out quests for us, and of course helped us with any questions that we might have had. Knowing that I always had a handful of people I could go to for help if I needed something, especially because ma français est très mauvais, it took a lot of pressure off of me. My advice for anyone who's considering attending the Grand Bataille at Bicolline: do your own research to figure out what kind of experience you want to have. But if it's your first time, I also strongly recommend going with the Voyage North because everything was a lot more streamlined. As someone who wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into. Going to Bicolline can be kind of complicated, especially as a first-time attendee, or if you don't live within driving distance. There are some options of how you can go though. You can purchase your own entry ticket, you can bring in your own food to cook, or you can figure out meals to buy from the restaurants there each day. And then you'll also need to figure out a camping tent and what area you're going to be sleeping in there. If you want to stay in the village, and you definitely want to stay in the village, the medieval decorum village, you do need a medieval canvas tent that fits the theme. There is also a non-decorum camping area, but in my opinion, it just, whenever I had to walk through it, it felt like a sad immersion breaking moment. And so I know if I go back, I will not be staying in the non-decorum area because I had so much fun in my little medieval tent, in my little guild. You'll also need to figure out how you're going to get to Bicolline. If you're flying into the event, the grounds of Bicolline are about 3 hours away from the Montreal airport. So you'll either need to Uber, carpool, or rent a car to get to the event. Last thing you have to worry about basically is that you're going in alone without a guild, which you totally can do, but basically you're going to be on your own in a sea of over 5,000 people. And if you want to be in a guild, you're going to have to find a group that's open to new members. But going with the Voyage North, which is an almost all-inclusive travel package, which handles just about everything for you to, from, and at Bicolline. First of all, they will get you there on a shuttle bus service to and from the grounds of Bicolline on their big tour buses. From the airport, we got to ride with a bunch of other people in our guilds and in neighboring guilds. It was a lot of fun to get to know people even before the event started, hanging out on the bus. And on the bus ride up, we stopped at the LARP store Les Artisans d'Azur in Montreal for some last-minute shopping. And the Voyage North also gave us a discount code for an exclusive shopping day with all of the Voyage North members. That store is so cool, and watching everyone kind of crammed in there, getting new weapons and clothes and armor was a ton of fun to watch because, you know, that's one of my favorite things is dressing like this. So getting to see everyone else be excited was just a blast. The second thing is that the Voyage North provides lodging for everyone in medieval canvas tents that are already set up, and you get to pick who your tent mates are prior to the event. Inside the tent, you'll get an elevated cot to sleep on that's off the ground, which is critical when it rains, and it will rain because it's Bicolline, and it always rains.
We're packing up to go, and there's a little frog in here. He's stuck. I have to get him out. Come here. Let me help you. He's so cute. I'm so cute. Oh, he's under my bed. There's a frog under my bed. And I lost my voice. Come here, sir. Come here, let me help you. Oh, look at the baby. The little baby.
Mud is inevitable. Just come to terms with that now if you're planning on attending, but definitely having a raised sleeping platform is a game changer. Third, you'll stay in one of the guild camps that are fully decorated and have camping comforts like indoor, outdoor seating, lighting, bonfires, provided firewood, large gathering tents, and then all the decorations of a medieval camp. There's even a team of volunteers in each camp that takes care of all the little stuff to keep the camp neat and running smooth. They set up the tents before the event starts, light all the fires, take out trash, maintain a blackboard with all the day's activities on it, and generally just help you out, which is crucial, especially the blackboard thing, because deciding what to do every day is one of the hardest challenges of the whole event. You truly can't do it all, so you just have to plan what you can, and when someone says, hey, you want to come to the pirate party? You probably just say yes and go to the pirate party. Each guild has its own camp, and one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, to come with the Voyage North is that you're already in a guild that's rooted in the game, that's welcoming new players. You'll be with your people here. Being with a huge group of people who thinks 7 days of medieval camping, running around in the woods, doing quests and battles is their idea of a great vacation, that's what I want, and I had the best time with them. Fourth, you'll get 2 catered meals per day. The food is incredible, and you also get a lot of it. The portion sizes are very large. The restaurant can cater to just about any dietary restrictions or allergies you might have. You really need fuel for the amount of walking and battling and questing you're about to do, and the food is like actually very, very good. They have sandwiches, burgers, fries, poutine, pizza, and Lebanese food, which I ate for basically every meal because I can't say no to falafel. The fifth thing is that you will receive medieval combat training from a professional medieval combat expert. This is the only part of TVN that is required to be a part of, assuming you do intend on fighting. because the Voyage North wants to make sure you know what you're doing on the battlefield and you understand Bicolline's combat rules. The instructor, named Mills, he's very good at what he does. He's done pretty much every form of medieval combat training on the planet, and he's been attending Bicolline for nearly 2 decades, so it's a really fun opportunity to get to learn from him. 6, you'll get a really cool tabard that is designed specifically for your guild. Each guild has their own design with custom trims, and the tabards are from Arm Street, which is a LARP shop that I really love. You can wear yours on the battlefield and be cohesive with your guild, or just wear it all week to show off your guild colors with pride. Here's my gorgeous tabard. Ta-da! Ordo Servi, Order of the Stags. Look at that. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed. I want to wear it to the grocery store. The 7th thing, and possibly the most important, the Voyage North has a really incredible online community that runs all year long. The staff and veteran players make sure to help you get to know other people on the trip and answer all your questions that you could possibly have about logistics and Bicolline in general. You get access to a members-only Discord that is very, very active, a members-only website with tons of information and Zoom calls that run every other week all year long, and you can literally come into Bicolline with like 50 to 100 friends if you are active in the Discord and that's your goal. And everyone who attends is of varying degrees of LARP experience, so no one is really made to feel out of place. All are welcome, and I definitely felt that when I was there. 8th, there are a ton of little perks that come along with joining the Voyage North. The guilds are all run by multiple year veterans as the guild leaders and generals that love to welcome new people and give away fun instead of hoarding it for themselves. That goes for all the veteran players as well. They are super welcoming. I met so many people who just taking time out of their own day to make sure we have activities that are fun and we're having a great time. Like, I thought that was so fun and special. Lastly, the Voyage North offers a bunch of upgrades that you can add onto your package, such as air mattresses, bedding, and pillows, which, if you think about it, is a quite frankly huge amount of space when you are traveling on a plane with bags that you have to check. Checking bedding would have eliminated probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 outfits from my luggage, and those were all very necessary outfits when you are running around and sweating for 7 days straight. You also can get a shower card to gain access to the showers. You can get a room in one of the cabins, a single tent all to yourself, and more. They completely tailor the package really well to your specific interests, and for more information, you can go to the Voyage North website and check out the link down below to apply for next year. I honestly cannot wait to go back next year.
That's like a fun thing to talk about. You'd be like, I never met these people before. But then we quested through the night.
We quested for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Voilà, il ne peut pas résister à son choc. Et c'est terminé pour lui!
For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Alright, let me see this. What do you think? I beat. What if I sit right here?
It's a frog! It's
Oh my god!
frog! What a surprise! It's just a little guy. Look at his spots. He's so handsome. I love frogs. Are you okay?
Oh my god!
Dude, you jumped so far.
What do you guys want? I like it. No, I was going to show you the real trick. It sounds like the balance. This is called the free count. So you got this. You can join in exactly. Yeah. The louder the better. Oh no. That's my idea.
You're going to the skirmish?
What's up?
You're going to the skirmish?
Plan.
Go do lots of murdering.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. That's the plan.
Good.
I was defeated.
You got defeated? Oh,
By the
man.
Axemen.
Not the Axemen.
My outfit's wet, look. Oh, I know. I was like, oh, can you pour it on my head? And then she was like...
I want the tassels in the content.
Show me the tassels.
Oh my god. Wait.
Dude, nice.
Thanks, man. I sewed them on myself. And I'm gonna juggle. I want the ones.
Your little jester boy shoes. It is currently the last day of Bicolline, and everyone's kind of just like packing up their stuff before the night begins. But something I love about this place is that people like to do like trades or like sell stuff for in-game money, which here is called solar. And this person just approached me and said, I have stuff that I'm wanting to trade. Do you want to trade? And I'm like, oh, sure. All I have to trade are like, I have these, I'll show you. I have these little like wood burned trinkets that I brought. They're just like little beads tied onto strings with different like runes and symbols burned into them. So I'm like, I have these, I have some bigger ones, and I can give you 5 solar. What are you trading? And she was trading 2 handmade corsets, stays corsets that she made in a day, and they're beautiful. So I'm changing into it right now. But she traded me this one with the cutest fabric, which I think I'm gonna wear this one tonight. And then this one is really cute too. So I'm gonna put that on right now. Of course, it started instantly pouring rain after I filmed that clip. And then I put my cloak on and never got a good video of the corset, but look how cute it is. Thank you to Kate who traded this to me. It made my whole entire day, possibly even trip. So I feel like I have the most special souvenir that anyone could have ever gotten.
So it's like almost free. I'm like,
It's so close to being free. It's crazy.
it's like $3.25.
What are you guys doing?
Jaeger in the slushy.
That sounds disgusting.
It is so good.
Is that about right?
enough.
Okay, cool.
Because otherwise you get too strong a licorice flavor.
Okay. That was good.
It is good.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Okay,
I thought it would be weird,
your
too.
reaction was better. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. It's the flavor
You're gonna
of
have to
Jaeger,
start
but
the scene over, I'm
it's
sorry.
the flavor of Jaeger, but without the like bite of it.
But without the decorum cup.
Okay, well, you know why?
We're not at Bicolline
It's
anymore.
because
when
this is, it fits nothing.
It fits something.
It fits nothing.
It looks cool.
Well, here we go.
No, I don't want it. Oh, okay. No, okay, no, that's fine.
Bullied by your phone.
It's great. It's great.
Suddenly you have
Yeah,
a
there you go.
decorum
Okay, let's
cup.
try
Look
to
at that.
Yeah.
Now I get more drinks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Where's the slushy?
We only have one straw. Why'd we only get one?
Is this actually
You said
good?
it
You
was-
said one straw.
That was your idea.
Who came
I
up
said
with
at least
this?
The
The Aussies.
we
It's the
got the
Aussies'
least.
fault.
The least
Australians
amount of
in
straws.
Nova
Requested.
Vitae,
Right here.
This was their concoction. At least that's how I found out.
Now you have lime and
Interesting.
cherry.
Yes.
Coffee
It's very strong. Like, if you go there, you're gone. So. Let's do it! Alright. Applause! Yeah. Au revoir!
Okay. Oh, way to make fun.
The amazing week that I had solidified the fact that this is going to have to be a yearly trip that I take. I have just been thinking about it. People call it the Bico Blues when you leave the event and you have to return to real life. It's real sad, but hey, guess I'm going again. That sucks, right? It was really an experience like no other. It was like Ren Fair times 1,000, which I didn't think was possible because I love the Ren Fair. I made a ton of friends there, some of which I know that I'll be friends with for probably the rest of my life. We've already started an online D&D group. It's just so fun to meet people who are interested in the same things as you are. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful and enjoyable to see. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna be going to another LARP soon, so I will probably be documenting that as well. And as I mentioned, I have a little surprise for you, so thank you and enjoy.